Okay, so here's where I find myself at the age of 52. I certainly don't have the. Well, let me back up. I have the energy to go out and hang, doing my job. 5 days a week, getting after it. It took me about a month to kind of get my legs under me. What I don't have is I don't have the healing ability and the elasticity, the quick twitch that I had in my younger years. And that's okay, because that's kind of where I am. And anybody that finds themselves over 40, over 45, you begin to feel these things. However, what I still have an incredible drive to do, and I'm grateful to God for this, that He put this in me, that I'm designed with a desire and a drive to grow and to continue to learn and to continue to move forward in spite of the challenges that I face. So I want to be an encouragement to others, and I want anybody that struggles with any kind of, dark moments, darkness, struggles. I won't call it depression because I've never been sort of diagnosed with that formally. So, but it's a big up and down roller coaster ride that my emotions are and so forth. I'm not a super stoic dude. But I've managed to press on, and I think in a day and age where we see Instagram people who have thousands of followers and Facebook people who have thousands of followers and YouTube channels and such, where we have this instantaneous look into someone's life and we see the best of what they do. And let's face it, there's a lot of people who in their videos never fail, never make a mistake, never seem cranky. They're great photos, they're great opportunities and things like that. And what we do is, in the darkness and quietness of our own struggle, oftentimes we compare ourselves to those moments. So that's kind of why sometimes I try to strip it down and be raw, because I feel like people just need to see once in a while that life is not just peaches and cream for every single person. Now, that brings me to the Tree Awareness Incorporated, our company, TCIA accreditation. It was a process, and it wasn't always 100% easy. I had a really incredible, talented friend and person, Mia Randazzo, in my corner helping to organize and push that. She's there because that's what she's really good at. Her and I have an incredibly great working relationship. So kudos to her. Couldn't have done it without her. But what I want to say is, in the midst of pursuing that goal, there was nothing but tumult, turmoil, and struggle swirling around. It was a maelstrom of not only longer term struggles, like we basically lost like 4 key employees in the course of about 6 weeks, people that we figured would be kind of figured into the long-term structure of the company, and for whatever reason they left, moved on, whatever. We had separation, and there was a couple of weeks of struggle from the standpoint of like, okay, now what do we do? Who do we have? We hired a couple of rookies, people that don't have experience. So I found myself in this task of being back out in the field with not a lot of having not had the recent chance to go out and do a lot of that. So I didn't know if my body could hold up. I've got some old injuries, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so managed to get through those couple of weeks. The next 2 weeks, after about a month, I realized like, we can do this. Anyway, this is not a situation to brag. This is meant as an encouragement. So what we did is we focused on our goals, which is what we continue to do. And I basically seeked out God's face in the midst of that as to what God would have me do and want me to do. And that was a big key for me. It was just pressing on and waiting, not sitting in the fetal position, woe is me, and what jerks everybody was, and blah, blah, blah. It was like, okay, what role did I play? What does God want from me? What will He have me do? But in the meantime, press on and press forward. So fast forward 12 weeks. That's very, very short time of 3 months. And we just got awarded the business accreditation. Why am I telling you this? Not because I'm a fantastic, awesome person, but because I engage with a lot of people on social media and in life, young and old. I have a passion for leading in many different areas. And what I realize is that we have to lead ourselves first, sometimes out of a muddy place. And I just want to share because I want people to understand that life is not clean. Life is not always the way you dream it up. In fact, very often, my son said to me 5 minutes ago, yeah, our family plans never go the way they're supposed to. So I said, well, does that mean you don't have a plan? He's like, no. I said, okay, well, so what does it mean? It means we have to learn how to adapt. So if the greatest skill you develop is grit, resiliency, and the ability to adjust your plan, you will be just fine. Just keep your goals in front of you. Just keep moving forward. For those of you that are believers like me, seek the face of God in prayer, in His Word. If you're not a believer, that's okay. I don't judge you. You have to do something that works for you. You've got to either yield to a higher power, or if you are your own power, you better get in a quiet place and do some deep soul searching and figure it out what it is you're going to do, and not let the tumult and turmoil of this thing called life sweep you and keep you down. All right, so anyway, I just want to be an encouragement. That's really the only purpose of doing this. We're going to skin our knees and get bloody noses, and man, we got to just patch ourselves up and don't quit. Never, ever quit. You'll have moments where you want to. You'll have moments where you're down on your hands and knees staring at the mat. It's okay. Every time you get up, you get a little tougher. Every time you get up, you add a little grit. Every time you get up and you have a lesson, you learn and you grow and you move forward. All right? Anyway, Merry Christmas. Peace out. Have a good one.